係，傳媒朋友可以影張相先。OK 啦，咁請各位就座先。係，歡迎大家今日嚟記者會。今日記者會咧由環境及生態局常任秘書長聯同相關政府部門嘅代表今日出席嘅。咁我哋一陣由常任秘書長先發言，然之後咧我哋會有提問環節嘅。請常任秘書長。
好。首先多謝傳媒朋友。今日出席我哋嘅記者招待會，為咗應對日本排放核污水計劃，環境及生態局同埋食物環境衞生署、食安中心、漁農自然護理署、香港天文台、衛生署同埋政府化驗所咧，成立咗跨部門嘅專責小組。主要工作係評估排放計劃對食物安全嘅影響，同埋制定應對嘅措施。今日跨部門專責小組嘅成員呢，會同大家講解一下特區政府應對日本排放核污水嘅一啲嘅工作同埋具體嘅措施。日本政府喺尋日宣布咧，將會喺8月24號正式啟動核污水嘅排放計劃。特區政府表示強烈嘅反對。保障香港嘅食物安全同埋市民嘅健康咧，係特區政府嘅首要考慮。基於預先防範嘅原則咧，食環署長咧已經係發出咧係食物安全命令，憲報已經刊登咗啦，發出咗食物安全嘅命令，將會由8月24號，即係日方啟動核污水排放當日起計咧，禁止源自東京、福島、千葉、栃木、茨城、群馬、宮城、新潟、長野同埋埼玉10個都縣嘅水產品進口香港，包括所有活生、冷凍、冷藏、乾製或者以其他方式保存嘅水產品、海鹽以及未經加工或者經加工嘅海藻。除咗禁止相關都縣水產品進口之外呢，食環署轄下食物安全中心亦都會喺進口層面做好把關嘅工作，繼續加強對日本進口食品嘅檢測，希望可以藉此係提供雙重嘅保障。事實上咧，食安中心已經係由6月中開始咧，全面提升就住日本進口食品嘅檢測範圍，檢測所有由日本進口嘅水產品，同埋加強檢測其他相關嘅加工食品。另外咧，政府亦都加強咗喺其他方面嘅監察嘅工作嘅，全方位保障香港嘅食物安全。漁護署會加強本地漁產品輻射水平嘅監測工作，包括從魚類統營處批銷嘅捕撈漁產品，同埋香港水域嘅魚類養殖區採集樣本進行檢測。而香港天文台咧，亦都一直有監測香港嘅環境輻射水平，並且會加強咧香港水域嘅海水樣本輻射監測嘅工作嘅。咁而家首先咧就請食環署咧署長同大家講一講咧食物安全命令嘅詳情。咁接住之後咧食安專員會介紹食物檢測嘅安排。跟住咧漁護署同埋天文台嘅同事會同大家講述佢哋相關嘅輻射檢測嘅工作嘅。我請署長。
唔該，大家好。正如剛才常任秘書長所講，我今日已經行使食物安全條例之下嘅權力，發出咗相關嘅食物安全令，並且刊登於憲報。根據命令，凡係源自日本東京、福島、 茨城、宮城、千葉、群馬、栃木、新潟、長野同埋埼玉10個都縣，並且喺2023年8月24日0時0分或之後收穫、製造、加工或者包裝嘅活生、冷凍、冷藏、乾製或者以其他方式保存嘅水產、海鹽，以及未經加工或經加工嘅海藻，一律係禁止輸入香港同埋喺香港境內供應。至於其他未有被禁止輸入香港同埋喺香港境內供應嘅日本水產品、海鹽以及未經加工或者經加工嘅海藻，我哋嘅食物安全中心亦都會全面進行輻射水平測試，喺確認相關產品冇超出輻射水平嘅情況之下，先至會放行於市場供應。另外，香港會維持而家已經係沿用緊針對日本若干食品嘅進口管制措施，即係禁止源自於福島縣嘅所有蔬菜同埋水果、奶類飲品同埋奶粉入口，而源自於福島縣附近嘅4個縣份，即係茨城、栃木、千葉同埋群馬嘅呢一啲食品，就必須要附有由日本主管當局發出嘅輻射證明書同埋出口商證明書先至可以進口。至於所有源自於上述5個縣嘅冷凍或者冷藏野味、肉類同埋家禽、禽蛋，就必須要附有由日本主管當局所簽發嘅輻射證明書，證明呢一啲食品嘅輻射水平冇超出食品法典委員會嘅指引限值，先至可以進口，否則就係禁止輸入本港嘅。我想提醒大家，食物安全係關乎市民嘅身體健康，因此政府會嚴格執行上述所講嘅命令，確保喺香港出售嘅食品都係安全同埋適宜食用嘅。任何人違反咗命令嘅任何條款就係犯罪，可以處第6級嘅罰款同埋監禁12個月。
跟住我報告一下食安中心嘅工作。保障食物安全係食安中心嘅首要工作嚟。食安中心喺2023年4月開始已經逐步加強對日本進口食品嘅輻射檢測，特別增加水產品嘅檢測。而亦都喺6月中開始全面提升對日本進口食品嘅檢測範圍，每日都係檢測所有由日本不論縣份進口嘅所有水產品，亦都加強檢測相關加工食品，以保障食物安全同埋維持市民嘅信心。咁由6月中開始到依家我哋大概檢測咗10357個日本進口食品，當中超過一半係水產品嘅。不過我呢度強調一下啦，我哋依家嘅檢測係100% 嘅水產品都係會檢測嘅。咁除咗增加日本進口食品嘅檢測之外我哋亦都好重視業界嘅。我哋與業界係保持聯密嘅溝通啦。我哋一直都係同日本食品進口業界同埋餐飲業界保持緊密嘅溝通，就相關嘅管制措施同埋最新嘅情況同業界溝通，同埋讓業界做好最好嘅準備嘅。而今日朝頭早我哋食安中心亦都為業界舉辦咗2場嘅網上簡介會，大概係超過700嘅人係嚟參加嘅。咁我哋希望透過簡介會同業界解釋呢個新措施嘅具體安排。之後我哋亦都會再舉辦第3場嘅簡介會，希望同業界保持溝通。咁另外我哋同公眾都係希望提供一啲最新嘅資訊嘅，所以我哋希望為市民令到市民可以更加掌握有關日本進口食品嘅最新安全資訊食安中心會喺每個工作天喺我哋嘅網頁入邊公佈有關日本進口食品樣本嘅輻射檢測結果嘅相關資料亦都會轉載翻喺環境生態局每日嘅每個工作天發布嘅新聞公告入邊嘅。
我哋接住落嚟請 漁護署助理處長黎全志。
好，除咗以上提及到咧對食物安全嘅關注之外咧，兒童自然護理署一直咧都同本地嘅漁民團體咧保持溝通，了解到咧漁民團體佢哋咧好擔心呢個核污水排放計劃咧，可能係會影響到市民對水產品嘅信心，亦都可能會影響到佢哋嘅生計。咁都希望政府咧能夠加強對本地水產品嘅一啲檢測，同埋咧盡快咁發放相關嘅資訊。有見及此啦，漁護署咧就會喺聽日即係污水排放嘅第一日啦，2023年8月24日開始咧加強本地漁產品輻射水平嘅監測嘅工作。我哋會從魚類統營處嘅魚市場裏邊批銷嘅捕撈魚產品，同埋喺香港水域魚類養殖區採集樣本進行一啲監測、一啲檢測。檢測嘅頻率咧會由而家每月一次咧增加，每個月一次增加到每日一次。咁我哋檢測嘅結果咧，亦都會每日喺漁護署嘅網站公佈。我了解到咧，天文台亦都會加強喺香港水域海水樣本監測工作。天文台如果一旦發現香港水域有啲異常監測嘅結果咧，佢哋亦都會盡快咁直接通知漁護署。
係啊，咁其實就香港天文台咧就一向咧，我哋都有監測呢個香港嘅環境輻射水平嘅。咁就包括每一季咧，其實我哋都有喺本港嗰個水域咧，就抽取啲海水嘅樣本啦，就可以測量佢裏面嘅氚啦，同埋人工加碼放射性核素嘅含量嘅。咁就因應今次日本福島嘅核污水排放咧，我哋喺上個月咧，其實已經開始咧係加密咗咧呢個本港水域海水樣本嘅輻射監測㗎啦，就會增加到咧大約每個月咧一次嘅。咁如果有需要咧，亦都會因應個情況咧去調整個次數添。咁而測量嘅結果咧，我哋會透過天文台嘅網頁咧係公佈俾市民知嘅。
好，而家咧係提問環節，咁請你哋提問嘅時候咧講翻機構名稱同埋講翻你哋嘅名，係或者呢個後邊嗰排藍色恤衫嗰位先生，最尾嗰排係藍色衫。
咁多位你有經濟日報，首先想請教下咧，聽日即係個安排啦，即係聽日喺即係個實際操作上邊有冇話即係幾點開始就會禁止即係10個都縣嘅一啲嘅水產品入口啦？喺實際操作上邊即係有冇話即係可唔可以講多少少詳情啦？第二個問題我都想請問下咧，即係目前即係預計，因為都知道暫時嚟講咧都。近期都未見到有一啲嘅即係水產品啊，或者其他食物喺日本入口咧係唔合格嘅。其實你哋預計即係日本聽日排放咗核污水之後咧，即係嗰個輻射嘅水平會唔會突然之間大幅去提高啦？或者係有冇暫時一個預測，即係未來即係可能一個短期內啲水產品嘅輻射水平會唔會即係有一個好大嘅變化啦？
或者等同事答一答先啦，好嘛？
頭先記者朋友講到咧，就係嗰個食物安全命令咧，聽日就會生效。咁究竟係講緊幾多點生效咧？就喺凌晨0時開始生效嘅，即係其實係今晚其實係12點過後咧就開始生效啦。咁個實際嗰個操作個情況咧，我請處長同大家講講。
好，我哋其實咧一直以嚟都有喺嗰啲進口嘅地點，譬如話機場啦，或者係海港啦嗰度去做檢測嘅。咁樣聽日或者今日嘅情況咧都無異，我哋都會係繼續咁做。事實上，由6月中開始咧，我哋已經對日本嘅進口嘅水產品咧進行全面嘅檢測。咁所以我哋都會繼續係咁做。咁我可以交翻俾食安中心嘅專員，佢都可以再講解一下究竟喺現場會係點樣做呢？
好，多謝經濟日報嘅提問啦。咁其實咧，因為日本當局咧係琴日宣布，咁就係聽日生效嘅。咁所以咧，我哋咧食安中心咧都好重視咧呢個呢個事件啦，因為食安咧係最重要嘅大家關心嘅議題嚟嘅。咁因應嗰個時間緊迫咧，所以我哋琴日開始咧經過日本通報之後咧，我哋就即刻已經聯絡業界，舉辦今朝嘅講解會，就希望業界咧了解嗰個情況。 其實咧個情況咧，頭先處長咁講啦，一直以嚟咧，我哋食安中心檢測日本食品咧，一直咧都行之有效嘅。業界咧亦都係了解嗰個程序。不過一個新嘅命令生效嗰陣時咧，我哋亦都趁機會咧，喺命令生效之前咧，同業界咧多啲解說，希望減低嗰個誤會咯。咁嗰個情況大概係點樣咧？因為日本食品咧基本上入香港咧，主要咧分兩個大途徑，一個由空運，一個咧就係海運。咁空運同海運咧，我哋嘅做法咧都係類似嘅，就係當嗰個食品嚟咗香港之後咧，我哋就會每一批水產咧都會去睇個入口文件，亦都會咧去攞版去做輻射監測嘅。咁喺我哋完成嗰個輻射監測之前，同埋有結果之前咧，嗰批水產品咧係不能放喺市面出售嘅。呢一個咧係非常之有效嘅規管，去保障市民嘅健康。另外咧，亦都係增強咧市民對香港食安系統嘅信心。咁呢個情況咧，我哋咧係行之有效，由2011年到依家咧都係咁樣做嘅。咁所以業界亦都係理解嘅。
想補充一點咧，就係關於如果喺聽日凌晨零時之前已經係上咗飛機或者上咗船已經付運嘅日本水產品，即使係受命令所規限嘅水產品咧，只要佢係喺24號凌晨零時之前係付運咗嘅話咧，亦都係不受呢一個命令所限制。
即係去10個都縣旅行嘅市民，即係佢哋會即係吸入即係呢啲水，或者有機會食到呢啲水產品，個風險係點樣？可唔可以俾少少建議咁㗎？
黃醫生，
係多謝。嗱，其實咧市民咧一直都好喜歡去日本旅行嘅，咁但係如果佢開始排廢水排嗰個核污水之後咧，其實咧嗰個風險咧喺10都縣入邊咧個水產嘅風險咧係會增加咗嘅。咁所以香港先至做一個食物安全命令，同埋增強嗰個檢測。咁市民如果外遊嘅話，亦都要留意呢個風險。咁就水產咧，其實要知道嗰個特別係10都縣入邊咧嗰個風險，同埋食嗰陣時咧要留心咯。咁但係喺香港嚟講咧，因為食物安全中心咧把關咧喺入口層面係把得好嚴嘅，咁所以喺香港賣到嘅食物咧包括日本嘅食物咧都係安全嘅。
好，嗰位先生第3行啡色衫嗰個短袖衫。
係香港電台嘅，都跟進翻頭先嘅問題咧。頭先就係講到一啲港人都會去到日本旅行啦，譬如東京啊呢啲，即係受禁制嘅都縣都係包括在內。咁頭先都講到即係有風險啦。其實風險係具體係點樣咧？因為譬如好多港人可能食嗰啲刺身飯啊，或者係食壽司啊，呢啲係應該避免啦，定係可能如果係即係喺日本嗰陣時賣得出嚟，其實都係安全嘅咧？即係或者係食幾多？具體嚟講，食幾多先至有個風險有幾大咧？呢個第一。另外想問下咧，就係個禁令嗰個撤銷同埋維持嘅條件，因為琴日局方嘅講法咧，就係如果係要幾時係維持或者幾時撤銷咧，都要睇具體情況。咁可唔可以問下，即係其實現時嘅所謂嘅具體情況係乜嘢咧？即係譬如嚟緊可能日本開始排核污水啦，究竟可能去到見到個監測嘅數字去到幾多，香港會維持嘅禁令去到幾多或者幾耐係比較見到個數字比較低嘅，就可能會撤銷啦。唔該。
我請黃醫生再同大家講講嗰個即係旅行個風險相關嘅地方喺邊一度？
嗱，相關嘅風險咧，其實有好多個原因咧去睇嘅。第一咧就係食嗰條魚食幾多，個魚入邊有冇輻射嘅含量，有幾多？咁如果喺香港嚟講咧，我哋監測或者檢測咧，我哋就用食品法典委員會嗰個標準去睇嘅。咁即係譬如舉例啦，銫咁我哋就係每公斤嘅魚就1000嘅貝克咁樣去睇。所謂喺香港唔合格嘅咧，就係跟翻食品法典委員會嘅標準。咁魚嚟講咧，其實都係一個 一個特別嘅食物嚟嘅。咁我哋不嬲咧都係建議大家咧就適量啦，即係唔好日日咁樣食，咁就個風險咧會更加增加嘅。因為個風險其實除咗魚入邊嗰個含量之外咧，亦都要睇你食幾多。咁所以就喺呢方面咧，亦都大家要留心咯。
第二項
係冇錯，我啱想即係回答你呢個問題。個禁令即係食物安全命令咧，其實今日先發出，聽日先開始生效。咁而家講話幾時會撤銷咧，就真係我覺得係太早啦。因為我哋其實咧喺做呢個工作嘅時候咧，我哋都會一直係留意住個情況，具體嘅情況會監察住啦。我哋睇嘅即係考慮嘅因素都係一籃子嘅。譬如我哋會睇嘅就係日本聲稱嗰個排放嗰個系統咧，嗰個運作係咪即係正常啦？睇下佢哋喺日本方面嘅海水啊、水產啊個輻射水平個數據係點樣？咁亦都開始有人講就話係咪淨係日方提供嘅數據已經得咧？我聽到香港嘅一啲嘅專家都會講話，要令到嗰啲數據咧可以取信於其他嘅經濟體咧。佢哋專家嘅意見就係應該日方咧都應該係考慮下咧，係有一個即係第三方嘅參與同埋認證嚇。咁喺呢方面啦，咁呢方面我哋同日本當局會保持一個密切嘅溝通。咁另外喺香港邊咧，就係我哋都會針對翻頭先黃醫生都有講到咧，針對翻香港我哋都會一路都會做住尤其係水產品嘅即係輻射檢測嘅工作。我哋自己都會有數據嚇。咁我諗需要出嚟觀察一段時間咧，先至可以確實得到。咁但係我順便都提一提咧，就其實實施咗一啲禁令之後，再係即係一段時間觀察一段時間之後，做出一啲嘅調整咧。過去我哋都有咁經驗嘅，因為喺2011年福島核事件之後咧，其實我當其時我哋都有喺食物安全有個命令嘅。我哋做咗幾年之後咧，當其時咧就喺2018年嘅時候，我哋曾經咧係有限度咁樣咧係即係放寬過嘅。咁我哋都會參考以往嘅經驗去做呢件事。
好，第二行湖水藍色嗰位女士係。
你好，凤凰卫視記者提問，我們想問一下，就是之前也了解到食安中心的整個檢測的流程，可不可以具體跟我們解釋一下，大概是需要幾道工序可以完成一個水產品的檢測？那麼它需要的時間又有多久呢？因為我們其實也採訪到了一些業界人士，他們表示現在自己的一些日料店的水產品可能會需要很長時間，到下午6、7點才能運送到他們的店裡。那對香港本身的這個餐飲業會產生怎麼樣的影響呢？謝謝。
黃醫生。
謝謝你的提問。你的問題是說那個水產品的監測需要多少時間，是嗎？那我們現在的檢測的程序跟以前其實是差不多的，一直以來2011年到現在的檢測程序是相若差不多，所以我們也在看過我們自己的檢測時間，就是現在跟過去幾個月的分別，我們就發覺那個檢測時間清關的時間沒有什麼大的分別，但是情況呢，就是在檢測的時候呢，也要看是檢測什麼。我們有一些是需要比較詳細的檢測的話呢，它有時候是需要大概如果普通的就大概1個小時，因為它有一些情況是需要把那個肉拿出來啊，再做一個輻射污染監測系統的檢測，那這個大概要1個小時。但是清關呢，他還要看，我們同事還要看他的進口的文件啊等等，所以大概就3、4個小時。但是這一個是大部分的個案，因為所有的清關其實要看那個貨品的情況，還要看文件，所以每一個個案都有一些不一樣。但是在這個情況下，其實食安中心也做了很多工作，是去方便業界的清關的。我們也買了增加了一些檢測的儀器，增加那個檢測的儀器，然後就減低那個檢測的時間。所以現在的情況跟以前差不多。
係格仔衫嗰位男士。
你好。 好明報嘅3個問題。首先想問下咧，今朝局長咧其實有講過話，即係譬如旅行啊，自己帶一啲手信，其實就即係唔係違法啦。咁因為即係呢個禁令就係涵蓋個商業用途嘅進口產品。咁想問下咧，如果係即係譬如親友啦，甚至係網上一啲商業代購咧，其實係構唔構成一個違法咧？咁如果違法，其實當局會點樣打擊啦？咁第二咧就想針對翻水產嗰個定義啊，想問下咧，譬如一啲即係即食麵嘅湯底啊、醬料啊、配料啊，甚至係一啲魚肝油嘅製品咧，其實呢啲咧係咪納入喺嗰個其他方式保存水產嗰個嘅定義度咧？咁最尾咧就想問下咧，其實見到市面上咧有啲嘅產品啦，譬如佢係冇列明一啲生產地，淨係得包裝地嘅，咁例如係即係用日本嘅原材料，咁但係喺香港包裝，咁呢啲又係咪涵蓋喺呢一個嘅範圍入面啦？咁當局會點樣加強個標籤化，同埋即係或者會市民有求助嘅時候，應該有啲咩機制可以幫佢哋手去識別咧？唔該。
3個問題。第一個問題，我請處長講一講個食物安全命令裡面呢，其實受規範個行為係乜嘢？即係個食物安全令係應該講緊入口同埋供應嘅。詳細個解釋我請處長。之後水產嘅定義同埋咧就係標籤嗰個問題咧，我請黃醫生答。
好，唔該，秘書長。喺個命令裡面呢，其實係禁止輸入香港同埋喺香港境內供應。咁供應嘅釋義呢，我哋係跟翻食物安全條例，即是香港法例第612章裡面第2條嘅釋義嗰度去解釋嘅。供應係指售賣食品，或者係邀約售賣食品，或者係為售賣而保存或展示食品，又或者係交換或者處置食品並為此收取代價，又或者係為商業目的而送出該食品作為獎品或者贈品。咁所以如果唔係跌入上述所講嗰啲嘅情況嘅話呢，簡而言之，如果你係自己去到日本係手帶一啲喺當地買嘅食材翻嚟自己去自用，又或者係免費咁樣送俾你嘅屋企人或者係親友嘅話呢，都唔會係受限於呢一個命令嘅。咁但係當然啦，即係我哋特區政府經過研判之後，已經係確認咗10都縣嘅水產品呢，其實係有一定嘅食安風險。咁我哋都唔會建議市民呢去嗰啲地方嗰度採購當地出產嘅水產品呢去自用或者係送俾其他人。
呢啲又即係咪算係一啲商業嘅進口啦？咁又會點樣打擊咧？
係呢一啲係一啲商業嘅行為，咁亦都係受限於命令嘅。正如我頭先所講啦，如果係任何人係干犯咗呢一個命令，違反咗呢一個命令嘅話呢，係可以處6級罰款同埋監禁12個月嘅。
或者我再補充一下啦，如果代購呢，其實嗰個水產品都係要入口嘅。咁食安中心呢，其實係同香港海關呢緊密聯繫嘅。喺入口層面呢，我哋會加強把關嘅工作。咁所以請市民放心。咁另外呢，就水產嘅定義呢，其實呢就響食物安全條例入邊呢有水產嘅定義嘅，就比較複雜。不過我簡單啲講呢，就係魚啊、貝介類嗰啲呢，就係水產咯。咁另外咧就係譬如水產今次咧嗰個命令咧，除咗水產品之外咧，另外咧就仲有一啲咧就係海鹽同埋海帶。咁呢個都提一提市民，就係水產品再加海鹽同海帶。
仲有一個黃醫生可以幫手嘅，就係關於嗰個即係冇產地嘅來源嘅標籤。如果係喺日本進口一啲嘅水產品嚟到香港先至包裝嘅話咧，嗰啲標籤嘅情況，
可唔可以係話，即係佢係話喺日本進口嗰個水產品，但係香港製造係咪？嗱，如果佢個水產品係由魚啊、蝦啊、蟹嗰啲水產品係由日本嗰10都縣入口嘅咧，其實都唔可以嘅。就算佢入口嚟香港再製造都不可以嘅，因為嗰個定義咧，嗰個源自咧係有幾重定義嘅。總之喺日本嗰10都縣原產嘅水產品嚟到香港都唔可以。
冇話加強翻個標籤，即係 佢哋係冇列明到，譬如即係一包入面可能有唔同嘅海鮮，佢冇列明晒所有嘅即係原產地呢啲又會點樣去即係加上標籤法啦，同埋即係啱啱所講嘅一啲即係配料啊、醬料呢啲，如果有包含海鮮，係咪都唔係話跌入呢一個即係禁令涵蓋嘅範圍咧？
如果係配料咧，譬如舉例係豉油、蠔油嗰啲咧就唔包嘅，因為嗰啲係特別嘅即係唔係屬於水產品嗰個定義嘅。不過食安中心咧，亦都喺進口層面咧，亦都會抽檢。
下一個問題，黑色衫嗰位女士啊，後邊最尾嗰排係啦啊，得唔得？
Hi, some English questions from RTHK. Can you recap in English what will be the threshold or benchmark for the government to remove or expand the import ban on Japanese food? And also, what would you do to prevent people from smuggling or Japanese seafood into Hong Kong? Because Zhechuan said no restrictions on people to bring small amounts of seafood to Hong Kong. Thank you.
On when government will consider varying the food safety order, amending the safety order, I think it's now too early to say because we just DFEH just today issued the food safety order, which would start to take effect tomorrow. But in the process, we'll keep under review a basket of factors, including how the operation of the nuclear contaminated water treatment system is going, and any statistics or data from the Japanese side on seawater near Fukushima, the nuclear power station, and the radiation level of any food samples and aquatic product samples collected nearby. On the part of Hong Kong, because the Center for Food Safety is collecting aquatic product samples every day, doing testing, so we'll have our own database. So we'll make reference to the data over time and observe after a certain period of time. We do have experience in varying food safety orders before. After the Fukushima nuclear incident in 2011, there was then a food safety order, which was amended in 2018. So we do have experience in sort of in varying the order itself. So we make reference to our experience and the whole basket of factors that I mentioned in considering whether there is a case to do so. But I don't think that would happen too soon, as I said. And there are other questions about the testing.
Smuggling.
Sorry, about smuggling. So I'll invite Dr. Wong to answer this question.
Yes. Regarding smuggling, the Center for Food Safety has been working very closely with Hong Kong Customs, and we will also continue to mount a joint operation on smuggling.
後邊嗰排而家舉緊手嗰個係。
Hello, question from the South China Morning Post. How much the government is expected to spend on this expanded testing system, and how much has been spent since mid-April? And how does the government's precautionary measure work if a loophole exists where the products can be brought by individuals and resold in a personal level? And how do the authorities combat such behavior? I understand you have just mentioned the food safety law is in place, but how to enforce? Thank you.
I'll invite Mr. Lee, the Deputy Secretary, to answer the question on expenditure. And then the enforcement issues will be dealt with by Dr. Wong.
On the amount of expenditure on enhancing the testing equipment and the testing of Japanese imported food products, in the past 2 years, the total expenditure is about 10 million. So this includes the expenditure by the Center for Food Safety, the government laboratory, and the AFCD in purchasing the required equipment deploying additional manpower as well as the testing material consumables.
Right. For enforcement, Dr. Wong.
So the question is how to enforce the food safety order.
If an individual bringing in the banned products and resold in the personal level, how will the authorities enforce the law?
So we have been enforcing the food safety order for many years. So just for your information, we have prosecuted 13 cases. We have prosecuted 13 cases on violation of food safety order. Regarding the enforcement on personal level, that means if there's members of public bringing in aquatic product from the 10 affected prefecture and metropolitan, and we will actually work together with Hong Kong Customs to investigate such case. If there's sufficient evidence proving that the import of the aquatic product is for commercial use, so we will collect the evidence and pursue for prosecution if there's adequate evidence.
嗰邊嗰位女士最重呢啲數據咧。
Hello， 你好，K 部㗎，有兩條問題。第一條問題就想問咧，啱啱秘書長講到話應該要有專家話有第三方嘅機構嘅數據啦，其實係乜嘢嘅專家，同埋會提供一個點樣嘅數據咧？咁國際原子能機構都講過，日本排水咧係符合標準嘅。咁香港認為要一個點樣嘅第三方先至 OK 咧？咁第二條就係講緊澳門市政府咧話1月去到7月咧就由10個都源入口嘅食品咧佔總進口量咧係不足0.1% 嘅，咁香港有冇啲乜嘢數字呢？雖然啱啱我講到話要因應情況先至可能會撤銷或者放寬嗰個禁令啦，咁其實會唔可以具體講下有啲咩情況香港先至會放寬禁令？即係例如話，如果內地放寬，會唔會係一個其中一個考慮嘅因素呢？唔該。
頭先我講到咧，即係如果你話日本嗰邊嘅排水嘅系統係點樣？佢哋啲數據點樣收集？水平係如何？樣本係攞幾多？呢啲問題咧，其實咧我就都覺得咧，因為我哋自己喺香港都同一啲專家，香港嘅專家都講，即係點樣令到大家信服嚇？純粹自己做嘅話，即係日本自己做嘅話咧，可能未必能夠咧係令到其他嘅經濟體都信服。咁所以一個可行嘅方法咧，就會係邀請即係日本方面咧係邀請第三方係去參與同埋去監察佢哋嘅工作。咁呢方面我信得過，即係日本政府佢會考慮啦。呢個第一樣嘢。第二樣嘢咧就係咧頭先有講到咧就係嗰個即係澳門嗰邊就講咗佢哋嗰個即係嚟自10都縣嗰個即係進口個情況。咁香港嘅情況少少唔同，因為香港澳門嗰邊咧10都縣咧，佢哋按我所知咧就係咧喺而家嚟講都係其實係有一啲嘅管制措施嘅，咁所以可能佢哋喺一啲嘅數據方面咧就掌握得比較好一啲。我哋都有啲嘅數據，咁但係我哋數據咧就主要係講緊咧就係究竟而家喺香港全香港我哋喺食物方面咧喺日本進口嘅食物佔我哋喺香港幾多咧？咁大約係2%。係啦，2%。咁但係咧就要睇唔同嘅食物種類啊，有一啲嘅種類咧就可能係佔嘅比重係大一啲嘅。譬如我哋今天我講緊即係禁制嘅海產咧，就我哋掌握個數據咧係大約係即係6.75%啊，6.75%。咁有另外一啲嘅唔喺而家個禁制令裡面，但係即係比較多香港人食嘅日本食品就應該係雞蛋。雞蛋比較多嘅，係超過10%嘅，我知道。咁所以你話今次我哋有個禁制令之後，究竟嚟自日本嘅食品佔香港整體食品嗰個比重會點樣有個變化咧？咁樣咁我覺得都好睇嘅消費者啦，因為我哋而家禁嘅水產亦都唔係禁晒全日本嘅水產，係啦，10都縣以外嘅水產其實你今天係可以進口嘅。 咁亦都有聽到一啲嘅業界朋友講話，十都縣嚟唔到，咁咪可以喺其他嘅日本嘅縣份係採購個食材。咁所以呢方面嗰個需求係點樣，係個市場去決定啦。咁至於其他嘅食品咧，就其實基本上就唔喺今次嗰個我哋嗰個食物安全命令嗰個規管嘅範圍添，係啦。咁所以我諗緊要嘅咧，我哋而家做嘅嘢咧，我覺得係緊要嘅咧，就第一樣嘢咧就係實施個禁令，風險高嘅都縣佢哋嘅水產品唔俾入嚟香港，呢個第一重啦。第二重頭先黃醫生或者處長都有講到嘅咧，就係入得嚟嘅水產繼續入得嚟嘅水產，即係非十都縣嘅水產嚟到香港咧，其實基本上咧自6月中開始咧，食物安全中心咧係每一批嘅日本進口嘅水產品，無論佢嚟自邊個縣份，都去做呢個輻射嘅檢測。呢個工作咧，我哋喺食物安全命令生效之後，日本開始排放核污水之後咧，我哋會係繼續。咁希望咧係俾到大家有個信心咧，就係食安會嚴格把關嚇。所有其他嘅縣份嚟得香港嗰啲咧，我哋都會做檢測。咁變咗咧就係咧消費者，我亦都會通過唔同嘅方法咧，將個信息發放出去，等到消費者都了解我哋做緊啲乜嘢嘅工作。頭先講話，無論係水產，我哋其實由聽日開始咧，因為開始個核污水會排放啦。我哋之前已經講咗咧，就係由聽日開始咧，我哋會係每一日都會公布相關嘅檢測項目嗰個情況係點樣嘅。咁你檢測項目咧就係包括咗有水產品啦，咁亦都有係漁護署，亦都幫手頭先講話食安中心就會睇日本進口嘅水產，漁護署咧亦都會睇翻咧喺香港本地嘅水產。無論係捕撈嘅或者係海水養殖嘅，佢哋都會去攞板去睇。咁加埋天文台亦都會就住海水會做一啲嘅輻射監測。我哋就希望咧係藉住資訊嘅發布俾到市民咧多啲嘅信息。咁至於你話具體個人嚟講，佢哋會係選擇乜嘢食物嘅話咧，咁留翻佢哋自己個人嘅決定啦。咁樣
好係第二行中間嗰位灰色衫嗰位女士，隔離嗰位係。
Hello, some English questions from the standard. The first question is, since the catering trade earlier said that a large proportion of Japanese imported food would fly Tokyo before coming to Hong Kong, so how would the authorities determine how to ban or not to ban the food if they're coming to Hong Kong from that 10 banned prefectures, or if they will, if you will look at the product's origins or simply their sources? The second question is, will the authorities will consider imposing an upper limit to tourists bringing in the food from the 10 banned prefectures to prevent them bringing excessive amount for smuggling purposes or for reselling in the market again? Thank you.
Dr. Wong? On the import of aquatic products from, say, Tokyo.
Thank you. So if the aquatic product is imported from Tokyo, but it's not manufactured, harvested, processed, or packed in Tokyo, it's just a transshipment cargo, so that would not be affected under the food safety order.
And then the personal, whether there would be a personal level of import, right, into Hong Kong.
Yeah, for those cases, we have been working closely with the customs. Yeah, if they find some suspected cases, they will refer the case to us, and we will further investigate the case to see if there's any evidence that is not imported for personal uses. That means if it's for commercial uses, we will prosecute.
第三行嗰位男士係綠色 brown 係。
係你好啊，東方嘅都想請教翻啦，即係啱啱局長今朝都講到話手信都可以帶翻嚟香港啦，但睇翻澳門嗰邊咧就係全面禁止進口啦，就包括就話會檢查入澳嘅人士嘅隨身物品啦，咁即係佢哋會連即係手信都唔帶得啦，即係你哋點睇？即係香港嘅規管會唔會有個漏洞喺度咧？即係會唔會教澳門即係遜色啲咧？另外就係即係農林產品方面會未來會唔會睇啲數據會考慮會禁止咧？即係可能因為內地都禁嗰個範圍都較大啦，會唔會參考內地會未來會禁即係啲生果啊農林產品咧？唔該。
我答咗你後面嘅問題。至於嗰個進口嗰個即係食物安全命令嗰個涵蓋嘅範圍，頭先我話進口同埋供應，我睇下處長會唔會有即係進一步嘅補充。因為而家我哋針對嘅問題咧，就係日方嗰個核污水嘅排放計劃係啦。咁所以咧，我哋咧就係鎖定咗咧而家我哋即係針對嘅一啲日本嘅產品咧，就係講緊係水產品當然係海鹽啊、海藻咁樣樣。咁所以其實咧就係如果係源自於核污水嘅排放咧，咁現階段咧我哋覺得咧針對水產品係一個適當嘅做法。咁至於個進口嗰度，頭先我諗係好幾位記者朋友都有講到，就係話個人如果係即係自己即係帶貨帶翻嚟你坐飛機又點帶翻嚟香港嘅時候咁樣我諗頭先我哋講到有區分到你自用或者係你係做一個商業嘅用途。咁請處長可同大家再講一講呢一個，等大家都清楚。
好，其實咧整個食物安全條例咧，其實都係旨在為食物進口商同埋食物分銷商係即係設立一啲規範咁樣嘅。咁所以主要就係管制咧進口同埋供應呢兩個層面嘅事情。咁而食物安全嘅命令咧係根據食物安全條例所發出，咁所以咧亦都會係以呢一個嚟做原則嘅。咁我認為即係喺政府去考慮成件事嘅時候咧，都要平衡一下即係個人佢哋嗰個做法啦，同埋咧會真係影響到公眾安全、食物安全同埋健康呢兩個唔同嘅情況。咁我哋係特別關注到後者，即是話如果有人係進口一啲食品係為咗要嚟喺香港度供應俾其他人食用嘅話咧，呢個責任係非常之大。咁所以咧，我哋就係針對呢一啲行為，即係商業嘅供應行為咧，係嚟作出呢一個命令嘅。
或者我都想補充一個，頭先處長已經講得好明白咧。代購即係你個人入口即係帶翻嚟啦嚇。咁但係咧，你如果係咧係跌中咗嗰個食安命令裡面講嘅所謂供應，即係話你係收錢係啦，跟住咧係售賣嘅話咧，其實係已經係即係受到嗰個即係食物安全命令嗰個嘅規範嘅啦。
戴口罩嗰位男士係。
你好，文匯報。最主要想問一樣嘢就係，因為你都話今朝都同嗰啲進口嘅業界同埋啲餐飲嘅業界去傾過啦。我想問下佢哋有冇反映咧？佢哋面對咩困難啊？或者會唔會有啲因為之前可能喺啲傳媒都講話可能要結業啊？即係有冇講佢嘅情況，或者佢有冇要求可能有啲咩協助啊？或者政府會唔會有對佢哋提供咩協助咧？唔該。
處長。
我嚟講先，因為今朝早我都喺現場嘅，我同食安專員都一齊去舉行呢一個俾業界嘅簡介會。因為咧呢一個俾業界嘅簡介會，其實係點解會舉行呢？就係想同業界講清楚，究竟我哋呢一個今日發出嘅食物安全命令，佢具體嘅內容係點呢？同埋臨場嘅時候，食物檢測嗰個操作情況係點呢？咁所以咧，今朝業界咧都係聚焦於呢一啲具體操作嘅細節嗰度，就並冇特別係講到話關於佢哋經營嗰方面嘅事情嘅。咁我哋今朝同業界嘅溝通都相當良好，咁解説得好清楚啦。咁但係咧就都知道業界咧會有好多問題，咁所以咧我哋都特別咧設立咗兩條熱線咧，係可以俾業界咧係就住喺海路嚟或者喺空運嚟嘅貨品嗰個檢測嘅安排咧，係作出查詢嘅。咁兩個電話號碼分別海路嘅咧就係25221004啦，然後空運嘅係21168250。
可以重複一次啊？
好啊，可以啊。如果係海路運輸日本進口嘅水產品、食品有疑問嘅話咧，可以打25221004，而空運呢一啲食品嚟香港嘅話咧，就可以打21168250。咁我哋同事咧就會準備可以回覆業界嘅查詢啦。咁如果有需要嘅話咧，我哋都唔排除會再舉行多一啲類似嘅簡介會，讓業界更加明白我哋嘅具體操作，可以配合我哋嘅操作咧，而令到整個進口嘅過程咧能夠順暢嘅。多謝。
處長，其實嗰兩個電話號碼係咪即係已經係通報咗俾業界啊？係啦，我已經通報咗俾業界。
或者呢邊呢位男士，白色衫，係。
Two questions from AFP. So nuclear power plants around the world routinely discharge tritium into the sea as part of their wastewater management. For example, the Yanjiang plant and the Jinshan plant in China both discharge over 100 terabecquerel of tritium in a year. For Fukushima, the IAEA said the limit of tritium to be discharged will be 22 terabecquerel per year. By selectively banning imports from Japan, is Hong Kong adopting a double standard? My second question is for the HKO. The HKO said that it does environmental radiation monitoring. So can HKO tell us whether after the 2011 Fukushima disaster, did it register any increased radiation in Hong Kong's waters? And does HKO expect that this time, for the discharge of water 3,000 kilometers away, would actually increase radiation in Hong Kong waters in any significant way? Thank you.
I'll invite Mr. Lee to deal with the last question, and then Mr. SK Lee to deal with the first question on tritium.
As I just mentioned, the HKO has been monitoring the radiation level of the seawater for quite a long time. And since the Fukushima incident in 2011, we did not notice any increase in the radiation level in Hong Kong waters. And for the discharge of nuclear contaminated water this time, since the distance from Japan to Hong Kong is more than 3,000 kilometers, so we expect that the effect will be very minimal, but still to ensure and to make sure that for the public assurance, we still increase the frequency of our seawater monitoring from once every quarter to once a month. Thank you.
And Mr. SK Lee on tritium. I think the most important thing to note is the tritium discharged as a result of normal operation of nuclear plants. And tritium in nuclear contaminated water discharged at Fukushima, they're not the same. Mr. SK Lee, please.
Thank you, Permanent Secretary. Thank you. Yes, the situation cannot be compared on the same basis. On the first scenario you mentioned, this is for the routine discharge. Routine discharge means the nuclear power plant remain intact, and the water will not come into contact with the nuclear fuels in the reactor core. But in Fukushima, the situation is completely different. The reactor core of all the 3 units, unit 1 to 3, is completely melted. So the water, the nuclear contaminated waters has come into contact with the highly radioactive materials inside the melted reactor cores. And they contain, in addition to tritium, there's many different kinds of radioactive substances which could be of very high radiation levels. So they need to be treated by very sophisticated systems in order to reduce the levels. So the two situations cannot be compared. They are totally different scenarios. Thank you.
好，仲有冇其他問題？嗰位女士，一陣間上俾呢位女士前邊第二行。係呢位係。
係你好啊 ，Now TV 嘅。咁因為其實一路就係話加強檢測啦，有冇話其實點樣加強個密度同次數會增加到幾多啦？咁同埋因為今次嘅加強檢測其實係增加咗幾多人手或者經費去做呢回事啦。咁同埋局長今日就有講過話帶手信翻嚟香港係唔受限制。咁即係啱啱都有提過話，即係如果佢係商業嘅先會係違法啦。咁其實點樣分到嗰個人帶入嚟係商業啊定係自用咧？會唔會需要市民做一啲申報咧？同埋如果係真係個商業嘅行為嘅話，可以點樣追蹤到咧？唔該。
好啊。喺個檢測方面嗰個加強嗰個檢測嗰個頻次係點樣咧？喺食品方面咧，我請黃醫生同大家講講。一年我哋而家係攞緊幾多版？我哋打算會加到幾多版咁樣？
係，多謝。多謝你提問。首先講咗手信嗰個先啦。手信咧就今朝局長都提過啦。如果自用，即係譬如你帶一兩盒翻嚟自用，或者係即係喺機場買咗手信咁過嚟香港，咁嗰啲咧就係不受現時嗰個食物安全令規管嘅。咁但係如果你帶好多翻嚟係代購啊，或者係幫人買啊，或者係再轉售啊，咁嗰啲呢就係商業用途，就係受嗰個食物安全法例嘅規管。我哋會點樣去做呢？我哋其實會同海關呢緊密合作。咁但係詳細好仔細嘅跟進呢，我就唔方便喺呢度講，因為呢個都係一個個案嘅跟進。咁另外呢，就講到第二條問題係嗰個人手係，我哋其實咧就增加咗個檢測儀器嘅，另外咧亦都係增強咗我哋嘅檢測嗰個設施，咁就喺呢方面咧，我哋做多咗好多工作啦。過去咧就我哋用咗即係食安中心咧大概用咗200萬咧去增加嗰個檢測設施。
喺嗰個每年嗰個輻射水平嗰個檢測嘅頻次，我哋都增加咗嘅。
呢度咧，或者我趁呢個機會講一講啦。頭先咧，我嗰度咧都有講到嘅。嗱，由今年6月12號直至到依家咧，我哋中心大概檢測咗1萬個日本食品進口食品樣本嘅。咁呢個數字咧，其實比起舊年，其實呢個咧係由6月去到依家嘅啫。我哋增強咗檢測咧，其實我哋呢1萬嘅數字咧，其實等於舊年全年。咁所以睇到我哋增強咗個檢測係好多。
好。俾呢位頭先佢舉咗好耐間條第二行間條3嗰位女士。
Thank you. I'm from.
可唔可以大聲啲？Can you speak louder?
Hi, I'm from Bloomberg. I wanted to ask, why are some of the landlocked prefectures among the 10 that are being banned? And do you know what is the value of the imports being affected from the prefectures? Meaning, how much money, how much total what is the figure amount for the amount Hong Kong imports from these 10 prefectures? And then also, do you know if Japanese seafood imports to Hong Kong go directly to Hong Kong, or do they also pass through other parts of China first?
On the inland prefectures, why we cover them, I'll invite Mr. Lee to explain.
When we consider the scope of import control, the basic principle is to take a precautionary and prudent approach to ensure food safety. Because we have considered that, as mentioned by our colleagues just now, the fundamental question is that the nuclear contaminated water that is to be discharged originated from the nuclear accident during 2011. So it had direct contact with the active fuel, and it contained large amounts of different types of radionuclides. So this is fundamentally different from the normal discharge by ordinary nuclear plants. And we have also looked at the information provided by the Japanese authorities as well as the IAEA. We cannot convince ourselves that we can guarantee after the commencement of discharge, the aquatic products imported from the relevant prefectures can continue to be 100% safe in the long term. And in particular, in the absence of independent monitoring mechanism, it remains uncertain whether the ALPS filtration treatment system can operate effectively and efficiently in the long run. For example, in the past, we looked at instances or reports of some fishes or water samples still in excess of the Japanese regulatory standard from time to time. For example, just in May this year, a fish was caught near the Fukushima nuclear plant, which was found to have exceeded the Japanese safety standard by 180 times. So when we devised the import control measures to ensure food safety in Hong Kong, we have to take all these special circumstances or exceptional factors into consideration. So we have been taking a very prudent and very strict manner, so to speak. Yeah.
Sorry, for your second question, if I get it right. So actually you are referring to situations whereby aquatic products originating from the 10 metropolis or prefectures, but they went through other jurisdictions before arriving at Hong Kong. Are you referring to the situation as such?
Thank you for your question. I wanted to clarify if all of those imported products from Japan, do they directly come to Hong Kong, or do some of them first find their way in other ports first?
If I may reframe your question, is whether the food safety order will cover aquatic products originating from the targeted prefectures, but they do not come to Hong Kong direct, but route through other places.
Yeah, that's a good way, yes.
Right. So,
yes, it covers.
Yeah.
The simple answer is yes.
Yes. Yes, they will be covered. Simply because they are originating from the targeted prefectures. Whether they arrive Hong Kong direct or go through other places, that will not affect the very fact that they are originated from the affected prefectures.
好，下一條問題。好。
I had a key question on the dollar amount for imports from those 10 prefectures. Do you have that dollar amount on you, or know where I could get that information?
I don't think we have it for the time being.
Okay, do you think you'll be able to have it in the future?
No, because we haven't been able to keep, statistics down to that level.
Okay.
But perhaps we may start, collecting the information.
Great, I hope you can send it to me first.
好，後邊嗰位男士，係唔該。
叫有 VN730，想問下頭先講到十都縣禁止，其實如果佢哋係佢哋喺十都縣嘅來自嗰度嘅水產，經過日本其他地方加工，然後再嚟香港又得唔得？或者係佢哋禁止入口嗰個部分，其實係講緊嗰個水產嘅原型啦，定還是係有成分就已經係包含咗話唔得嘅咧？另外頭先都講到話，日本嚟香港進口食品個比率，其實有冇再細分就係來自10個都縣嗰個嘅百分比啦，同埋預計會唔會有個飲食業發展受影響，會唔會計劃有啲賠償或者補助呢？最後就係漁農界可能就擔心話嗰個輻射就影響啦。咁其實香港同日本都有一定嘅距離。咁其實政府係預計實際上本地漁業啊、捕撈養殖嗰啲，其實會受到嗰個今次有幾大嘅影響呢？唔該。
我今次請黎全志助理處長同大家講講香港漁業方面，頭先我講咗監察啦，咁可能一路以嚟其實黎處長我哋都有同漁民朋友都有溝通，咁請黎處長。
好，唔該曬李處長。首先我哋了解到啦，就其實漁民團體咧，佢對於今次嗰個污水嘅排放計劃，佢哋都好憂慮。咁佢哋最主要憂慮嘅原因就係佢擔心即係市民對嗰個水產品失去信心啊。咁因此可能會影響嗰個佢哋嘅生計。咁變咗我哋其實政府能夠做到咧，就係加強我哋嘅抽驗，加強我哋嘅檢測，令到我哋能夠喺適時發放一啲資訊咧，釋除市民嘅疑慮，令到市民大眾咧更加係可以放心咁食到我哋嘅本地嘅水產品。咁其實正如局長琴日都提及過啦，香港始終對於而家排放核污水嘅水域都會有一段好長嘅距離。咁我哋其實相信呢，真係喺香港水域嘅漁產品會度到一啲輻射嘅影響呢個機會係相對相當低㗎。咁但係無論如何點都好，正如啱啱講，就住食物安全好，就住市民可能對本地生產漁產品可能失卻信心好，呢兩個方向呢，我哋都覺得應該呢係我哋去加強我哋嘅檢測，令到市民釋除疑慮啊。唔該。
至於頭先講到嘅，即係加工啊，或者係嗰個定義啊，水產嘅定義咧，我請處長同埋黃醫生幫手答。
剛才我講過啦，食物安全命令裡面呢所提及嘅咧，就係講緊話喺10個都縣嗰度收穫、製造、加工或者包裝嘅水產品嘅。咁所以咧喺呢4個工序裡面，是但一個係喺10個都縣裡面進行嘅工序咧，如果係有咁嘅情況嘅話咧，都係受呢一個食物安全命令所限，一律係禁止輸入香港同埋喺香港境內供應嘅。咁至於話我哋提到有好多唔同種類嘅形式出現嘅食品，譬如話係活生啊、冷凍啊、冷藏啊、乾製或者其他方式保存嘅水產，咁究竟例子會有啲乜嘢嘢咧？我就可以請阿黃醫生去解釋一下。
多謝你嘅提問。嗱，關於嗰個今次咧，我哋嗰個食物安全令咧，嗰個水產品嘅定義咧，其實仲有多闊少少嘅，就包括乾製啊或以其他方式保存嘅水產。即係呢個簡單嚟講咧，就譬如舉例一條魚，依家出邊好流行嘅一夜乾啦，一夜乾即係一條魚過有一日係佢係醃製過，咁之後佢個名叫一夜乾，都係成條魚嘅。咁嗰啲或者係魚乾啦，咁嗰啲咧就係屬於乾製同埋用其他方式保存嘅水產。但係咧，如果佢係一個魚蛋，咁嘅魚蛋可以溝好多麵粉，佢入邊咧亦都未必係一個即係成條魚咁樣嘅。咁嗰啲咧就我哋現時喺食物安全令下低咧，嗰啲合成嗰啲食品咧就冇包入去嘅。咁但係咧，我哋食安中心咧亦都會做一啲抽檢嘅，就保障食物安全。
OK，至於頭先記者朋友提到咧，即係對飲食業界嘅支援咧，我諗我哋而家當下咧最緊要一樣嘢咧，就係正如啲業界朋友講咧，佢哋面對嘅最大嘅問題就係市民信心個問題。所以點解咧？我哋一路都強調咧，就係話我哋而家咧做嘅一啲具體嘅措施咧，係針對由日本進口嘅水產品，我哋係多重嘅保障嚇，即係我哋係高風險嘅地方嘅水產品唔俾入嚟香港，禁止入嚟香港，所以基本上大家都見唔到佢哋嚇，唔會有啦，唔會嚟香港。我哋會加強檢測其他地方日本其他地方嘅水產，如果嚟到香港嘅話，食物安全中心每一批都會做輻射檢測，冇問題先至會放出嚟。咁所以其實喺香港市面咧食到嘅即係日本嘅水產品咧，係應該係多重嘅保障底下咧係安全嘅。咁我亦都要通過咧係發放資訊啦。曾經講話每日我哋都會有未來一段日子嚇，每日都會有個新聞公告嚇，我哋都會喺啲網站上面咧係發布消息。咁如果我哋係睇得到有任何嘅即係檢測結果係異常嘅話， 我哋其實即刻會公佈嘅，大家會知道會防範。但我當然我覺得即係我哋對自己一個把關咧，我都係有信心嘅。咁亦都希望即係公眾對即係相關嘅食品亦都會有信心啦，有嘅資訊可以選擇啦咁樣。咁業界亦都有提過就話其中一個可以幫到佢哋嘅方法，可能會唔會有啲標示啊，即係話我啲水產係嚟自咁就係非10都縣嘅咁樣。咁呢一個咧就業界如果係想做呢一樣嘢嘅話咧，我哋即係覺得都係對消費者嚟講都係一件好事嚟嘅。咁亦都食物安全中心咧，如果係有檢測過相關嘅批次嘅水產品嘅時候咧，我就知道咧相關嘅進口商或者個貨主咧都會有一封信咧，係話俾佢哋聽我哋做過檢測確認咧佢嗰個情況咧係冇係符合個標準嘅。咁係啦，呢一個可能即係請處長或者係黃醫生同大家講一講，即係業界會攞到個封信，個封信大約係點樣嘅？咁變咗咧，其實業界一個好好嘅一個即係一個憑證啊，就話我呢啲批次嘅貨品經過食安中心一啲嘅輻射檢測，但係佢哋咧基本上檢測完之後咧係滿意嘅，係合格嘅嚇。可以黃醫生講一講呢一樣啊？
係今次咧我哋都聽到業界嘅意見啦。咁我哋其實做完檢測之後咧，食安中心咧係會有一個准予放行信，即係我哋簡稱放行信。咁入邊會有啲乜嘢資料呢？主要呢就係佢有佢嘅海運提單編號啦、抵港日子啦。咁檢測嘅項目呢都有寫喺度，即係譬如佢有3批貨，咁我哋亦都做咗檢測。咁我哋就會講呢嗰個清關程序，即係以下嘅食品嘅清關程序已經完成啦，准予放行啦。另外呢，亦都會加一句呢，有關食品批次呢，亦都已經接受咗輻射檢測，結果合格嘅，係一封信件就會俾翻業界嘅。唔該。
咁希望藉住呢啲嘅措施咧，都可以幫到業界啊。我覺得頭先我講嗰個情況，嗰個做法咧，其實咧係最能夠幫到業界面對而家嘅情況。
好，我哋咧剔多2個問題。呢位啊。
你好，香港01嘅，想問下咧，其實如果驗到係超標嘅話咧，咁其實除咗可能銷毀個批次之外，仲有啲咩跟進嘅工作啦？其實係咪唔排除，或者係咩情況或者咩程度之下咧，先至會增加可能禁止嘅都縣嘅數目啦，或者可能係其他即係唔同嘅一啲產品咁樣啦。第二，想請教下天文台，啱啱都有提到話，其實預計對香港嗰個影響唔係咁大。除咗個距離之後，可唔可以講多少少，例如水流嗰方面啊，又或者係其他唔同嘅方面咧，其實點解唔會對香港嘅影響咁大咧？可唔可以即係再介紹多少少？唔該晒。
嗰個超標問題，我請黃醫生咁跟住先至輪到李生喺天文台嗰邊係回答呢個問題。
好，唔該。嗱，如果喺香港咧檢驗到有啲水產超標，或者有啲其他日本食品超標嘅話咧，咁我哋會非常重視。咁我容許我呢度講一講啦。我頭先都解釋過，依家日本食品咧，如果檢測輻射嘅一個水平咧，我哋依家係扣檢嘅，即係話呢個未有結果、未有滿意結果之前咧係唔會放行嘅，即係個批貨係唔可以去到市面度售賣嘅。咁所以如果有任何食品係超標、輻射超標嘅話呢，第一就係市民係冇影響嘅，因為個批貨冇出過去市面售賣。所以我哋中心呢係好希望業界係合作呢，係一齊做呢個把關嘅工作，就係扣檢。第二呢，就如果係超標呢，我哋呢就即時係一定係會做一個評估啦。如果係譬如，因為點解我哋會喺入口層面抽呢？因為入口層面抽呢有個好處呢，就係證明到佢嘅來源。譬如佢係嚟自邊個縣份啊等等嗰啲啦。咁我哋亦都會同相關當局啦，即係日本政府嗰邊去傾。咁有機會呢，其中一個措施呢，就會嗰個地方有機會。我哋會考慮，譬如再加強一啲管制，譬如係入口管制，甚至係暫停入口等等嘅工作，就以保障食物安全。而家
好，最後一條問題啦。
我請李立信助理台長。係。
咁就其實即係話香港受影響嗰個機會低咧，即係講緊香港水域嗰個海水受影響嗰個機會低咧。其實主要因素都係距離係一個重要嘅因素啦。 雖然你話嗰個海流係會有影響嗰啲即係輻射嘅污染物點樣去流啦，但係始終嗰個海流嗰個方向咧都唔係話單一性㗎，佢都受好多因素影響嘅。咁但係由於香港真係同日本咧相差個距離有成超過3000公里啦，咁所以即係佢越洋過海之後咧係會即係大大咁樣稀釋㗎嚇。咁不過無論如何點都好啦，咁我哋天文台咧都會即係做好令到市民安心嗰個工作啦，我哋都係會即係加強喺本地個海水個輻射監測㗎。
仲有條問題係俾啲未問過後邊嗰位。
Hi, TVB reporter. So 3 questions. The first one is quite similar to what Chinese report, another colleague has said. Can you give more clear guidelines or definition on the definition of the manufacturing or the place of origin? For example, if a certain product has been processed in the 10 regions, would it be banned while entering Hong Kong? And the second question is whether the government will consider if under any conditions to end the product ban. Is there any condition that the government can list out? And the third one is in regards to the AFP question. Can the government explain or to confirm whether the water from Guangdong nuclear plant with the tritium are safe for the Hong Kong citizens? Thank you.
I'll invite Christine, Dr. Wong, to deal with the question on the definition of manufacturing or place of origin, prefecture of origin, whatever.
Yes, thank you. So the definition of originating is it includes manufacturing, processing, packed, and harvesting. Yeah. So if some aquatic products are harvested in one of the 10 prefectures and manufactured in other places, that those products are included under the food safety order.
Before I take your second question, for the third question, I'd like you to clarify what actually do you mean by water from Guangdong?
Because the AFP reporter has just said that the water coming out from the Guangdong nuclear plants, they also contain tritium. And I think one official has just said there are 2 different kind of waters, nuclear waters. Can you explain if there's any differences, or is safe? How safe is it for the Hong Kong people? And I think the second one is relating if any condition to end the import ban.
So for water, you mean seawater, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the sort of clarification that I'm after.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee, could you deal with the question on the radiation level of seawater that you are doing, checking, testing?
I think as the colleague from Department of Health just mentioned, the water released from the Guangdong nuclear station by nature is quite different from what will be discharged from Fukushima. So I think we've already addressed this issue.
And on the question as to when we are going to end the ban, I think I've already dealt with that a number of times on this occasion. But I think the short answer is we'll keep everything under review. I've been citing a number of examples, but these, of course, would not be exhaustive. There could be other considerations. The situation may change over time. But if you ask me, some very basic parameters that we will always bear in mind and take into account would be the situation in Japan. By that I mean, what about the operation of the discharge system? Is it operating as planned? What about the water samples or aquatic product samples taken near Fukushima? Do we have data, statistics, whatever? On these fronts, I think we will continue to have communication with the Japanese side. And other than that, on our side, I've been saying that CFS has been, collecting food samples, aquatic food samples. We have our own set of database, so we'll make reference to our database as well. And to give you a short answer is we'll take everything into account. And in what we do, I would like to emphasize that in what we do, our major objective is to safeguard food safety and public health in Hong Kong. That is our primary consideration and actually the responsibility on the part of government. And that's why today so many of our colleagues are sitting here. We are doing our part to safeguard food safety and public health. Thank you.
咁記者會完畢啦，唔該晒大家。
簡單去講咧，其實好多嘅費用咧會由部門自己調配啊。咁所以其實你問我話牽涉到幾多額外嘅支出咧咁樣，咁今天因為好多工作咧，譬如話食安方面，佢哋做一啲檢測工作，頭先黃醫生都有講，我哋加強咗，定我不嬲都做開嘅，咁佢哋可能係即係調撥部門嘅資源啦，人手亦都係如是。咁所以其實我今天我就好難講到俾你聽實際上係用咗幾多百萬咧咁樣。咁但係我哋喺度做個工作嘅時候咧，即係我覺得如果大家既然係即係對於方面其實都有個興趣嘅時候咧，不如我哋都係可以集一集條數。咁或者稍後如果我哋有條數嘅時候咧，我哋再同大家講啦，好嘛？而家。